Back with you tonight on In Focus, Newzroom Afrika, Channel 405. Reporting continues. Joburg Mayor Mpho Phalatse has condemned the actions of the EFF and the ANC councillors after a council sitting descended into chaos on Thursday morning. A case of assault has been opened after EFF and ANC members tried to forcibly remove Speaker Vasco Da Gama from the chamber. For more on this, we're joined now by EFF Joburg caucus leader Sepetlele Raseruthe to give us a sense of what actually happened there. So Raseruthe, good evening and thank you very much for your time and for joining us tonight here on In Focus. You call what happened in that sixth extraordinary council sitting the apartheid bullying tactics of the Democratic Alliance. Why?
Thank you very much, my brother, and good evening to all your viewers. My brother, in the city of Johannesburg, we've got a challenge. And the challenge, in fact, is only one. The challenge is the Speaker to Council, Ntate Vasco Da Gama. He is the problem. On the 10th, during the sitting, the speakers from Council, they were switched off. And as a result, we were using a roving mic. The roving mic ended up stuck in the hands of DA members. And as economic freedom fighters, we couldn't express ourselves because we had no mics. We had to go and look for the roving mic.
Yeah.
As a result, they didn't want to give us the roving mic, and we realized that no one is going to listen to us here.
Yeah.
If we are not going to be listened like the way things are happening, why should we continue with council? You must remember the sitting was scheduled for the 10th.
Yeah.
It went on and on until the 11th.
Yeah.
And it was not going to be proper for that city to continue until the next morning.
Yeah. What was the item that you wanted to express yourself on that you're saying you were prevented via the situation of the roving mic?
In the morning when we got to council, we were met with this new face, which was buzzed from Cape Town to come and be imposed in the city of Johannesburg as a secretary to council. And then we asked in the morning, who is the person? Because he was about to start with the proceedings of council. And we asked us, who is this person? We said, no, it's going to be our acting secretary. We said, no, who approved him? Because if he was supposed to come here and be our acting secretary, council was supposed to be aware of that before it can happen. They had to remove him and call back our acting secretary, and he was the one who was running council. And when the item for the very same position of acting secretary arrived, they didn't want to listen to anyone like they did when they imposed chairpersons of committees on us. You will remember during the time when we were electing chairpersons of committees, the speaker adopted this system of not listening to anyone else but his coalition partners. And as economic freedom fighters, we are going to be firm with what we're going to do. We are not going to be treated like visitors in that council. We are there not via their invitation, but we were voted for to be in that council. We are appealing to Ntate Da Gama to be impartial, to run council. He mustn't run his coalition. He must run the entire council.
Now, are you opposed to the acting secretary to council that has been appointed? And are you opposed to the whole process of putting the current acting Andile, as you're saying, on special leave, and why?
Remember, we had our secretary to council, Mrs. Shuping. She was suspended, and as a result, Andile was produced to come and act Andile is still acting. If Andile must be stopped, then it must happen through council.
Now
we can't just wake up tomorrow and they say, no, Andile is no longer there. Now we are having this new phase.
The Speaker has opened or laid charges of intimidation and assault against the economic freedom fighters after that brawl. Will you be challenging this?
In fact, we are going to allow Democratic Alliance to practice their democratic rights by opening those criminal charges against the economic freedom fighters. But you will remember, this is not for the first time cases were opened. Some cases were opened against the very same Speaker. Some cases were opened against Al Jamaah, ANC. Is because the Speaker doesn't want to run council. And if he wants to run council through courts, he's welcome. He can go and practice his democratic right there.
Sepetlele Raseruthe, I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on. He is leader of the EFF Joburg Council. That is their position then on the matter. This, as the Speaker has said, this disruptive behavior will no longer be tolerated in council, and of course has gone on to lay charges of intimidation